load up fast with Samsung SSDs.
And it's going to be EG starting things off on the attack here. I think another guy that stepped up in their last series was Icy for me. I think was doing a lot of great work up against some stiff competition on the other side in the duelist slot. Digizin also been very good this year.
I love when they've got Digizin on this Neon, pivoting to that in stage 1. He's had a number of dominant maps, and they've usually been on Lotus.
A little bit of a standoff here as the smokes fall. EG, they win both fights immediately. That's a really nice opener for them.
And they're execing into B side at the same time. Right now it's just Icy that got past the buys wall, and I think EG are going to call the spike to loop back over to A. Just sort of leave Icy here to hear footsteps. He's hearing 2 people run through spawn right now.
Yeah, Loud have made a nice pivot here, reading the situation, expecting that those players on A could be pushing up, that they'll likely be finishing the execute there. Kawanzin has inserted himself deep. Oh my god, Luke Zhou. Fantastic shot. I mean, this guy has been on a totally different level than the competition since joining Loud.
Still in this one. Icy's gotten that kill, but the spike is in Luke Zhou's hands. He's got 3 kills already, yet to even take a lick of damage. And I think this just comes down to isolating a fight. It's a 2-on-1. Either way, Loud want to slice it. Kawanzin, how are they winning this round? Nature alone in a 1v2 now.
With only 20 seconds, being stalled by Util as well.
Luke Zhou faces. Through the smoke goes Kawa as well. 10 seconds, he needs both these kills, that's 1. Swing in, trying to find the shot. Luke Zhou dips back into the smoke. There's no time to plant, or he's running. He has it just in the nick of time, but Luke Zhou's gonna push. Surely Luke Zhou pushes the time! Nature! Not a second to spare!
That is unbelievable. Nature in the 1v2 there. First of all, secret agent mission to get the first kill, and then somehow sneak in, grab the spike, and then pulling off there. Using the go for the Red Bull clutch in the gunfight instead of on time getting the spike down.
By the way, a moment comes up where the post-mortem smoke is super valuable from running the Clove. Potter's already hyped up. I mean, look, we're only 1 round in, but that feels like they're about to carry some of the momentum in. Of course, perhaps speaking too early, but when you start with the 1v2 clutch and they won those initial fights, pretty nice.
Still, it was a 5v3 that turned into a 1v2 Red Bull clutch to win it.
Crazy.
I mean, you were talking about Luke Zhou. That guy he has been so impressive and has truly come out of nowhere.
That 3-piece was insane. His performance at Ascension was unreal last year, and I was shocked that he didn't get onto a team to start immediately in Kickoff. At the moment, since joining Loud, he's top fragged 5 out of 6 of their maps played. He's been phenomenal.
And the one map he didn't, he was like, what, like a few kills down?
Yeah, he still dropped like 20. He still dropped like 20 plus. Digizin just had 28.
Here's a little
Neon,
replay play for Loud.
Hold on.
They got 1 kill off this, but Icy's made back in. Well, Kawanzin in a pretty rough spot. He'll escape it though, and they only end up losing 1.
Yeah, EG's own wall sort of gave the escape for Kawa to slip into Baby Door. Fall back with a couple of his teammates. I think right now EG need to put down a little bit of pressure, maybe tap this door, threaten splitting into A and B at the same time. But B, I think, is where they're going to want to finish.
And might have to contend with Digizin over there, who is one of the players that got a light upgrade into that. Sheriff, wow, clean from Icy.
30 seconds left.
Shot down.
He likes that heaven spot, doesn't he? 2 rounds in a row, he snuck up there. Down to 20 seconds, but shouldn't be any pressure stopping the spike from being planted. EG with their guns can sort of take these forward lines without too much fear.
We're talking about outrageous performances from Luke Zhou. I think it's time to call back to what Super was doing last week for EG in that crew win. 2-0 over the team who is now the #1 seed out of Alpha.
On this map, at some point, wasn't he like 14-0? It was something obscene
I think he ended
along
like
those lines.
A 3.0 KD or something, just unreal.
I'm glad to see him back at that level, though, because I think he was one of the legit first-timer in VCT standouts of last year. It was a reason that EG looked like a contender. So I was a bit worried when he started slow here. I was hoping that there would not be a fall-off and perhaps just a temporary lull in the high impact.
Yeah, I mean, if he can keep that up and you're still having solid performance out of Ye in most matches, Icy stepping up too, like this EG team could do some punching upwards.
It is funny because with EG the narrative always seems to be, can X player hit their previous peak? Can we see Rise Supermen come back into play? Can we see LCQ Derek? Can we see peak Ye? Like, all these players have had these moments where they have been respected as some of the best, and all of them trying to find it again on this roster.
Yeah, Potter said in an interview before Kickoff started, I remember that EG is the team where players end up.
Yeah, no one chooses
not
to be on
by
EG.
choice, but to redeem themselves. It was something along those lines, and I mean, it's true. But hey, it's nice to have some players that are fired up to prove that they've still got it.
Nice shot from Panca there. Yeah, all the names we're talking about, like VCT Americas is just the better version of the DC universe. We got Batman yesterday with Ben Affleck. We got Superman today.
You were waiting like 45 seconds
you had
to
that.
drop
Couldn't
that
stop
one.
You had that
talking.
in the
It's not my
tuck.
fault.
You couldn't wait to get that one off.
I'll be here all night. Not for this second series.
Stun aftershock. I
Just a
see.
re-clear back, Rubble, Digizine doesn't feel too pressured. Oh wow, great double face, shuts him down.
Yeah, and trying to get out of there actually meant that his teammates weren't able to play comfortable like trading lines with him either. So easy for EG. EG again going to go back to last round, tapping the door, but realistically threatening to split back to B.
Yeah, the timing on this Lurk is impeccable. B side is pretty much open with the 3 players all full committing to an A rotate.
And I like that this time around, Nature's doing a lot more selling that they're going through tree.
Yeah,
Last time it was
yeah.
just the drone. This time Nature drops the spike to his teammate, then throws all his utility onto the site. Now he's the late Lurk in the Rebel side.
Yeah, gets that Prowler to go through tree, then the C's backside, sells it so well. How do they want to set up this post plan? I do have my eyes on Panca, who's still over at Mound. Could try to find a time to open the door, backstab while
Okay,
Louder making
Dicey.
the noise.
Same spot again. He's been here twice before, and this time unsuccessful. Super's going to try and trade through, but Loud just, they find success up there. Going to be able to take all these kills, and EG pushed really far back on this post plant now.
It's also a really ugly plant to play from over in Link here. Yeah, there's some utility to do a bit of stalling, but you've got way too much to clear out with the fall line coming back on in.
Surely you want to keep these guns. Now they're going to try and fight, do a little damage, but round is done.
Yeah.
Loud win a nice retake there.
I mean, when you're pivoting back into Baby Door and the retake is coming in against the Taeho breach, you're so cooked. You're never getting back on the line to be able to get into fight when the spike is actually being tapped, and certainly not so when you're at a man disadvantage. It's legitimately hopeless.
Yeah, losing this player early definitely hurt them, but I think they just needed one of the 2 players they left on site to come up with something.
They needed a kill there, but Luke Show looking pretty nice already.
This round's going to be a bit quicker from EG. For their players leaning over towards C, opening Mound. Last time Panca got an opener here, and ooh, damage onto Ye. Can't quite achieve the kill this time.
Surprised he didn't get it. Ye's down to 21 HP right now. Nature's about to have the Nightfall, collecting that orb.
That'd be a big one, although I think Luxo over in Waterfall could try to play to dodge this. He realizes. Looks like EG might not even snap that ulti just yet. It's going to come in, hit 2 players on backside, and yeah, they're completely forced away here. Easy entrance for EG.
There was still Thorns up, so it's not the quickest hit. Spike is going to take a second to come down.
And even at that, because it took them a bit of time, Counting's over here. Oh, and he has the Armageddon. He might find the timing to be able to rip this on tap.
4v4 now. Not using the ult, just the drone for info to start. But you're right, Spike not down. He has the missiles, has the annihilation.
EG are waiting for Superman's Lurk to activate. He finally went through B. The rest of the team is going to follow in behind him because they saw all these players
So
rotate
deep.
in. This timing is beautiful. A nice shot from him. Just a molly to stall out and get his team that B site.
Spike planted.
You can see the Tuis and Digizine. They are so apprehensive because EG are on all of the angles, positioned behind them. Look at the flanks that they have to be concerned about right now before they
EG's
even
macro.
think about going for a retake.
And this is why Super was so successful in the last time he played Lotus. It wasn't just because he was shooting. Obviously, he was. It was because they were calling this macro where he was continually getting Lurks up B and getting into positions exactly like this. And if I was Loud coming into this game, that's what I would have been afraid of.
I think this has kind of been a signature of EG's and probably Potter's
That's what I was just about to
on
say.
Lotus. Because if you think back to last year, what was it, Apoth on the Cypher?
Yep.
Always going
through B.
With the Cypher Lurks through B. Supa would have the A Lurk timings going down. I think this is very much her style of how to play the wide 3 bomb site map is all about these late round pivots, working into your Lurks and letting your individuals find timings to break open the map.
Now they put Loud in a pretty tough spot with the economy. They are facing a dilemma. I mean, nice from Ye to just be able to get one in that situation, given he was sat at 21 HP after taking all that early round spam damage.
So how would you fix the economy?
You'll take it. How would I fix the economy here? Saving.
Yeah. Oh, saving.
Probably
okay.
Saving out of the timeout.
Stop spending so much money.
My expert opinion.
That's a really wise take from you. STK is gonna grab a timeout here for Loud. You know, there's been rumor mill about the future of Loud, what's gonna happen to them. Because obviously, I mean, we were memeing it up with like the Chance 2023 coming into this game, but these two orgs used to be the best two orgs in Americas, and now it's been a pretty far cry from this. This has been the worst year for Loud they've had as an organization.
Hold on, are those Sentinels fans screaming somewhere in the arena? I can't quite hear.
No, I can't hear. Well,
they don't want you to talk about 2023 Sentinels. Pull up the bots if you're gonna go that way.
No. Keep them hidden. No. This Loud team have had a very strange 2025, though. They were shockingly good at kickoff after having an abysmal offseason, and now are shockingly 0-4. Like, I mentioned the Luke Show stat earlier where he's top fragged 5 out of their 6 maps since debuting. All their series are going to 3. Like, they're winning maps, they're keeping it close, but they cannot get it over the finish line at any point, which leads me to believe that they are on the cusp of being one of the really solid teams that we have. It's just something needs to click. Like, one more little thing needs to go right for them that they need to figure out.
Unfortunately, it's too late for that this season. They're looking ahead to stage 2.
Almost stage 2.
Are they going to try and be like 2023 Crew if we're talking about those teams where it's like every series is close but they can't quite get a win?
That was their winless year.
Yeah.
Just go crazy in LCQ.
Yeah,
I could genuinely see something like that.
Right?
Yeah, they're going to make it to champions. Don't worry, Wyatt. There's a big championship point on the line for this game. I know you love that narrative.
That is true. We got to fit that in one time.
Big one.
You redeem your free champion point narrative once.
It's like a Dave & Buster's ticket.
We're never mentioning it again.
They have the big prizes. They got to come up with some small prizes, too.
I mean, by the way, Digizine finding
Good
that
start.
opening kill and controlling Mound has allowed everyone to rotate over towards
you gotta hit that.
Disaster.
Yeah, because no one else has a gun. Although, I'm not quite sure how this Outlaw is supposed to just peek through a smoke and get a kill. It seems
It's
like
whips
it's
all
not
day.
a problem.
Oh my god.
Well, good. Let's just
somewhat disastrous.
let's see if
to be
EG
real.
can close this out cleanly without having to use any of their ultimates.
I'm going to say, yeah.
I'm gonna
Also,
say,
Icy
yeah.
can one-shot either of them. Also, he has the showstopper. Also, Derek is an Armageddon. I mean, this is...
I'm
Yeah,
going to
this is
say
gonna be a
Nature's
tough one.
position on drop wraps up this round without an ulti, I think. That crossfire is pretty nasty.
Plenty of oh my god, Panca stuns,
dear.
DG slides, and now it's just Nature. He might wrap up the round in the end.
I'm telling you.
No ults used, but they didn't want to have to win it like
Love
this.
that smoke.
No charges.
He is so trapped here. But Panca is 1 HP. He's scared to sit onto the defuse. Not even halfway. There's no time. This round's over. And guys, they didn't use an ult. What a clean anti he's
That
got.
was really clean.
That was that was a pretty cool attempt from Loud, though. Respect. I liked using Digizine sent out that fast lane. It cuts off the angle that you were calling out with Nature, where he was going to be the pivotal backstab. Can't help the players in tree, and as that's happening, Panca goes to the door, gets a spam kill. A cool attempt,
Yeah.
but this that was an unfortunate little moment.
Well, I think unfortunately for EG, like Digizin shouldn't be taking that fight. I don't think he knows there's like a one-way smoke that could be coming offline, right? If Louder, man, if Louder a little crisper, I think, in the comms of how to set up that fight, I think that should have been a pretty easy win for them.
And there's that up top haunt that is just being thrown every single round from EG.
What?
Oh my god.
Every round is a
See
C-pick.
Yay?
Cover going out.
I think you just saw the legs. Perfect
Yeah.
crosshair placement.
But think about the last, like, what, 3 rounds? Whether it's Digizin or Panca a couple times, it's been either big damage or just a first kill on the C space.
Yeah, Panca is one of the omens playing C that you will find to be far more willing to take early fights. He's way more aggro. Like, he will commit far more often than other omens will in that same position.
When we're talking about the Trauma Descent fans, it was 2023. That's when everyone was so doubtful of Panca on controller. He honestly didn't look super comfortable in the role. I think he's, kind of coming to his own here now, but the ult's coming in. It's going to be a fast C hit from EG. There's a little gap past that Armageddon. Surely Icy's rocket should end this, and okay.
Ends a little bit more than he wanted to.
Yeah, nice trade from Icy to help out Luke Show there.
Oh yeah, he traded himself.
Yeah.
Planted.
Trade yourself.
It's a good deal, 1 for 1.
There.
Still, Kalamazine has been chilling with this Armageddon, by the way, and that's going to be pretty good at getting someone out of the pit or killing someone in the pit.
This is how it ends.
Fault line to set it up as well. Should be coming in.
Oh my god, and the stun is perfectly placed. That was really nicely done.
Still, Supa's kept us online the entire time. EG are trying to play off the site, but he can't get the opener. It all goes back to Derek now. Spike not in a great spot for him, and it's just a whole lot of nothing for Derek in that position. Loud will take their second round.
For me, one of the things that's been unfortunate for Loud in these recent games is that they can't seem to individually get enough players online at the same time, which I know is kind of a basic thing to look at, but it's like you have Luke Show and Digis in. Back in Kickoff, Kalamazine was a multi-kill menace. He was getting 3Ks constantly, and he's had a couple bad games in a row. But you gotta feel like if they can get those 3 in prime form, that should be a sick, sick team.
Did I say that Panca was playing? I got it
He was
twisted.
playing Sentinel.
I
You got it twisted,
twisted,
but I didn't want to do the thing where I'm like, actually, he was
Actually,
playing Sentinel
but
and
also
wasn't
I
good
was
on that,
just-
and then they needed him
I had
back
it
on
twisted.
controller. You
Other way
kept it
around.
too twisted.
I feel like you need to be in charge of like keeping us honest about
Yeah.
Loud, because you sound like
Okay,
Loud's
just calling you out.
biggest fan. Like, just their biggest
No,
believer.
I am a believer. I really am a believer, and I came into this year with no belief because their off season was pretty horrific, and
All right, well,
they
sell
immediately
me
made me
this
believe.
round, Wyatt.
Sell you this round?
Yeah, give me all the bias in the world.
This
they
guy.
have guns and EG have classics.
I was hoping for something a little
my
bit more
sell.
impassioned than that, but sure.
Player
You don't need
You're like
passion
that
when you're
guy.
correct.
You're like this. Sell me this pen, except you just desperately need a pen.
Yeah.
It's just like the most obvious. Do you want to write something? Great.
Yeah.
It was
I'm
pretty
sold.
straightforward. I'm gonna be real. Loud are in a pretty decent spot now, as they've gotten several ults. They're getting the economy rolling. Looking pretty nice.
Yeah, nice shooting from Luke Show there. Pretty easy targets, though, all things
I mean,
considered.
he's playing off his own flash, his wall. He has the thorns there too. Like, good
Every
setup.
Vise's dream.
Yep. Even got to send that guy. Icy's like stuck on top of his wall for a little bit of an easy kill.
EG, Coach Potter going to call a timeout because it seemed like they were in control of the game, and all of a sudden it slipped out of their hands. Their economy is going to be on the line, and they don't really have ults to play with anymore.
Well, I think we might have a special report here. Riv has been standing into the comms for EG. What do you got for us, Rivington?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm on, if you can hear me through that.
hear
but
you.
I can hear you.
Perfect. Evil Geniuses, the comms have been stoic. I think that's the way I'd like to put it. That first round, when we saw them losing 3 on B, it's like they lost nobody. They keep those level-headed emotions. They're able to come back with the clutches. But recently, it does seem like Loud is able to come back a little bit here. EG was using the previous timeout to get themselves back in the game, so maybe this is one to get that back.
Cool.
Seems like they're taking it pretty serious.
Pretty serious.
All right, thank you very much, Riv.
They're
Like
locked
it.
into
Thank you for the
stone.
sideline report, Bisland.
Don't worry, next time he's going to be listening to Loud and tell us what's going on there.
I can't wait for that check-in.
It could be a vibe, a tonal vibe check, you know?
Right.
Something along those
The
lines.
decibel level is.
I'm
that's
looking,
all I've got.
I'm seeing some sort of A clash coming up.
With the 8 players on A, give it away.
So,
Yeah, he has a nice
high-level
spot here.
analysis.
Digison is seized as well. He could be in a tough spot. Moryuto getting reined in. That's a rolling thunder from the defense.
What am I looking
But,
at?
they don't have follow-up, and everyone is still alive somehow.
Is Cowansy nothing to you?
No, he's something to me, but he died earlier.
Okay, well, look, Lurkshow is there for 2 kills, but Ye's got the res.
Run away from Ye. Just
Think Ye's gonna be able to
let
find
that
anything
expire.
here.
No, there's no way.
That's tough.
You know what's not tough? When
What?
nature plants this spike and has a nightfall to pop up when the retake comes in. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Face your fear!
They're going to use it immediately. Spot 2 players towards spawn. Maybe makes you a little sus of the flank coming through.
Ooh, but now no guns left for the EG players on site. Still, I don't know if Loud can scale so quickly off that. That seems like a sort of worthless ult, apart from like being scared of getting pushed themselves. But Loud still have to retake the site.
They still have a stun on Tui's. Flash as well. There's good util for this. Luxo dives into the site. But it's a tough setup to break here, especially with Derek getting that kill. That'll secure some space, but he'd love to get another. Keep the missiles alive. Time getting real low for Loud. They need to get on this fight now, but Derek and Super, they shut it down. Good post plant from EG, but I can't help but feel like that was a bit of a fumble from Loud on the retake.
There's a Rise duo narrative in there somewhere with Superman
You
and Derek
work on
putting
finding that. You work on
Well,
finding
I
that.
mean, it was right there. It was Derek and Superman, and they, they.
So
won the
Rise
round
used to be
together.
a North American VALORANT team these guys played on. Anyways, I will say, I like how EG have been playing these A post plants. Think about like every time they get the spike down here, they're always trying to take drop control and play the drop triangle. They're not really playing out into rubble or grass or anything. They're really embedding themselves on site.
Yeah, maintaining that nice crossfire. All right, EG stabilizing out of the Potter timeout.
Maybe that's a chance for Vansilli's report on, the #1 fan of Vietnamese super team Rise.
Is he also back there listening to things?
I don't think he's listening to things.
Okay.
I just know he loved that
I think
game.
he's just watching Rise VODs right now.
Bunny suit.
He's actually not
prepping
prepping for the desk.
Yeah, he's watching VODs from
hopping around.
2022.
And in their game against Luminosity, they looked so good.
Right? Or The Guard, perhaps? Ghost Gaming.
Oh, I miss Ghost Gaming every day. That's my
XZ.
Roman Empire.
Yeah. The good times.
They're back in Valorant now. Very different team though.
Are they?
I
You can
think
still
so.
rep the set?
No, I'm talking about Ghost.
Oh.
Exit.
That's tough.
EG made a lot of noise towards C, and they did draw the rotates there, but Loud have been able to insert Digizine all the way far forward on rubble, so this is going to need to be re-cleared from
I'm
EG.
worried about it, though, because there's still a fault line that Tui's is holding out in his
Yeah,
hand.
exactly.
Panca in a good spot. He's good for it again. This
He's
guy
always
is
winning this.
such a beast at Mound. How
30
many
seconds
opening
left.
picks has he got?
He's so confident fighting there. He really doesn't give it up. Wow. Lovely timing from Ye to even things up. Passes through the wall. This is going to cause some chaos for Loud on the rotates.
But the flash getting the ping while the wall up is telling Loud that there is the lurk coming in. So they're fully aware of this. Pancata's going to fall back. And with 10 seconds left, don't know. Oh, Ye can't be getting that
10
kill there.
seconds left.
Cloud won a chance of the round. They're pushing forward to try and stop this spike from going down. 6 seconds left on the clock. That's a big kill. Loud are just going to be able to take the round with no time left to plant. And a 4K from Pancata.
That is lovely from Pancata. He has single-handedly been winning Loud these rounds towards the C side of the map. Most teams are heavy stacking Vice util or doubling up in this area, but he has been a lone C constantly,
Loud just put
winning.
one man there, and it's good enough.
That
No,
spray transfer is nasty.
For real, normally it's the Vice doing that. That's
Yeah.
what we've seen the majority of the time on Lotus in this stage 1.
But I do think
Solo.
one thing that EG are sort of missing in their comp with like the lack of a breach is that lack of like very fast firepower into Mount. You can just dive the player playing up into that space. And Loud just continue punishing that, right? Because there's always time for Digizin to be able to slide away or Pancata to teleport out. Well, EG just aren't putting enough pressure down there early to take that space.
Definitely not, because they die walking out towards Mount.
Man.
Oh, again. I mean, Digizin, to be fair, he did take a lot of damage, but picks up the outlaw in this round, just knows the EG economy is cooked.
And that's a big trade-off you're making when you pick the double controller comps with this Fade instead of something like what G2 play with the Breach Teo, right? You're always going to have a big strength with the Viper wall towards A, being able to send Lurks B and A constantly when you're playing the Viper, but without the Breach, it makes execing a lot harder. You really have to rely on like those late Lurks into B that we were talking about.
Pancata just jiggling, getting some damage off on Superman as Loud are gathered up to nullify this pressure towards A from EG.
Oh, only one guy made it in. That's not going to get it done.
Kalenzin's forced back, but he's okay with that. Pancata puts, what, 14 or 15 on the board at this point. Dominant in the server. You are definitely happy with getting 5 rounds on Lotus defense so far.
I would be.
It's pretty nice. And also in that round, Kalensin got enough kills to get the Armageddon ready for this subsequent one where EG are going to once again have their economy on the line. Opportunity for Loud to get, theoretically 2 here if they can just win round 11.
And now you have 2 of the best ults in the game, the Annihilation from the Teo as well as the Little finger gun from the Neon. Where is my friend?
I don't know.
I know
what that one's
guys,
called.
I know the ultimate names, I
I
promise.
have never remembered what the Neon one is called, I'm going to be honest.
I
It's just
like
a
the
lightning
zappy
gun.
Overdrive.
Overdrive.
Did a
But
producer tell you that
isn't
in your ear?
Annihilation Deadlock?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Armageddon.
That's the one that I always
I
get
chose
backwards.
again to not actually it's Armageddon.
Fun fact, Annihilation, also a movie that was on Kaplan's top list.
Oh yeah, and
There you go.
This is a
from
good
the
film.
Callback.
If you're
Natalie
watching the show
Portman.
yesterday, you know what we're talking about.
Dijin gets pushed away. Nice util to kind of contain the space, but Icy has made it out.
It's going to be all the Prowlers gone for Nature. Basically, I mean, that's just all of his utils straight up gone right away just to get into rubble.
Go ahead.
They're still not really comfortable. There's a gap here for Dijin to play with.
Hey, look, it's the Armageddon!
It is. He's going to be able to 1-2 it away. Supa gets a double kill.
The classic Armageddon, leave a gap, put the
No,
missiles
that's a
there.
pistol.
Oh my God, Luke Show. I'm not sure if I'm excited about
Can
the
we
player
fire
or
this
mad
guy?
about your joke.
Can we get anyone here for this try? Could this just be a cast and
This
not a
is
try
tough.
cast?
30 seconds left.
We can make it normal. Wait, what are EG doing? For a second, Icy was going over into B, but the spike stuck in tree. He's going to be able to plant.
You got 2 strikes on jokes. one more and you're out of here.
No more funny business. I'm locking in.
10 seconds left.
Okay, Icy's going for a fight here while the plant comes down, but no
Spike
one is
planted.
over there. It's a round we've seen before. 2 retaking from stairs. One's going to go late through tree. Missiles up.
Good clear from EG, knowing no one's coming at them from heaven.
Armageddon.
A rewrap could be big from Icy.
Yay has to really do so much here. Icy's low on HP. He's missiled out.
Good
Good
timing.
night. Luke Show. It's a banger shot, and surely that's the round. Icy late
Nice.
to the party, and he's dead too. The Brazilians are shooting today, man.
They are
Luke Show and
shooting.
Pancata look clean.
And that was some good retake utility as well. Again, I mean, 2 times in that round we saw Armageddon push someone into a corner, into missiles. I can't remember which player it was, but whomever was, it was forced back into waterfall there. Missiles come out, and then they're on the angle, and they get a free kill when he has to run out and not take the damage from the missiles. Nicely done from Loud. But at least with EG getting the spike down, their economy's not too bad. They have a pretty fair buy for this last one.
But they keep running into this issue of the opening fights, Loud are taking the advantage in. EG need to get back to what was working earlier in the half, where they were playing the map a lot more slowly. Not getting caught out by these stacks of Loud, which again, Loud have managed to put 2 players towards C. Again, Panca is getting this kill.
Yeah, I would love to know the first kill stats for this
Well,
half
I
right now.
just
It's
personally
like
counted
all
5
Loud.
of them
Yeah.
from him on C.
Insane.
And yet this is
Dijin?
the first round Dijin is there. Good trade though from Icy.
Yeah, it's nice. They actually even this one out, 4v4. They still have to raise Rocket as well for a rehit here.
And you've got Loud drifting towards C on account of the Luke Show over towards A, just hard facing from stairs, has that sheer wall, is obviously going to hear if anyone opens the door.
And then you can pop the flash off the door to see if anyone actually walked all the way
crosses in. Yep.
Really good info on this side of the map.
Drone is down.
But still, I like the pressure that EG are putting down, even by slowing down the round. Now that it's 4 players, you know that it's very hard to hold all of the different lanes to get into a site. Oh my.
Pancata still gets a kill there. He's backpedaling, stuck within the seas.
What?
And the
Oh my
missiles.
god, if he got that one, no, that would have been devious.
I really thought he was going to for a
30
moment.
seconds left.
It's low time though for EG, but Supa's Lurk is successful on B.
Yeah, he was able to sneak in from A through Baby Door to B.
And he might have a kill in spawn here. Luke Show's coming back to check on him.
Yeah, the thing is, Luke Show knows something's gone
Timing.
down.
Oh,
what a flick!
Superman!
This
Damn.
guy's nasty.
He'll get the plant too.
10
the
That'll
pit.
get him
Yeah,
the
that's going to
ultimate.
get the pit. Oh my god, he's taking that.
Somehow sneaks out of it. Stun in. Louder trying to get ahead of this utility, but the pit's already spread. They're going to start to get decayed down. Shorty ready in the hands of Superman. The cat to push in as well. And the Shorty not enough. Cow and Zine gets one, but Nature, as the pit drops, puts it into a 2v1 for 2Es. Positions are good though.
No util to play with. Nature's just going to take this passively. Play around the delay from the missiles, almost the timing.
One enemy remaining.
And that's a kill. 2Es. 1v1. Sticks it halfway, but the swing.
What?
How? 2Es. I don't think
but
he
he
has
just
the
doesn't
time.
have the time. That was a nasty, no, nasty shot though. Oh my God, that's a
He was so close to getting it half as well.
delay moment. Oh my God, Derek.
That's crazy.
Like actual, barely the perfect timing from Derek.
But closing out the half 6-6 off of just...
I think Loud are going to be happy with this for sure.
absolutely.
I think you're always going to be happy getting 6 rounds on Lotus defense for the most part. But given the fact that, damn, that was close. But given that EG started off so hot, and then they were able to get back into it, respect to them for that. And Panca being a 17, goddamn.
Well, 6-6 at the half. Loud looking strong here. We'll have to see if they can close the map.
Oof, stuck paying for that old phone? Don't be. You know, at Verizon, we'll pay off your phone. And you'll get iPhone 16 on us. That's a value of up to $1,600, only on Verizon.
Super easy, pa' ti no estoy busy, bebé como tú y sí.
Second half about to get underway here. Loud at 6-6, and I think the story of the first half was Panca. He has started this game 17-5, and in 4 out of 12 rounds, a third on defense, he got the opening kill, just swinging C-long.
Yeah, on his own. No supportive utility, no players next to him, no nothing. This guy's just getting it all done.
And now I'm going to steal the point that you made while we were waiting for the timer to go down to 0 so we could talk about the game again, which is that
you mean me.
EG are tied 6-6 on the scoreboard.
Oh, no, that's
and
my
none
point
of their
that
players are
was-
positive. None of them?
That's crazy.
That's great. Did you notice that,
I
Chris?
didn't even
Did you
notice
pick
that.
up? All right, Loud, they're fast to get into rubble off that neon speed.
And they're pretty much always going to win this A-Rubble, or this, the A-Rubble fight here with the stun neon combo. Those agents are just so strong at taking this space.
EG, they have definitely loaded this side of the map with players, though. Emphasis on tree control. You know, you're going to have Nature take contact here, try and distract. So Icy can swing! Oh, but shut down straight away. Nature, nice taps with the classic, 2 for 2.
It's Panca again, though, getting a double there. Puts this round, at least for EG's hands, into Yang.
Who's the raid boss with the overheal? The speed picks up the ghost.
150 health now with that ghost. He wants a fight.
Yeah, lost the overheal now, though. But the rest of his team has showed up.
Derek has 1 stun. That's their only way to get past this smoke. In it goes. EG flooding to the site. Oh, the stun. 2, he swings, and Panca's got his back as well. Super 1v2, but he cannot pull it through.
Yeah, pretty normal behavior to have 20 kills after 13 rounds on Panca. Unreal.
So insane. Completely dismantles that tree hold from EG that did get the intended value if he was not in God mode, just finding all these kills.
Playing like this bring any questions to your mind?
Like why does Panca not miss? This is
Yeah.
definitely the why does he not miss game. 25-6, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it took to the fourth guy he killed to actually miss a headshot.
We get to see the difference between these two comps now as Loud want to take space over towards C-Mount. Oh, guess what? They have a breach stun and immediately nullify the angle where they were getting cooked by Panca in the first half.
Yeah, and we'll see, like, this round they're playing a little more contained to see if EG actually fully step up. But, like, if EG do start taking the Mount fight, like we saw from Panca, you will just see rounds where Loud will rip the breach stun, send the Neon flying forward. And it's just, it's less expensive than even having, like, the Raze, because Raze double satching into the space, you're out of that for the round. Neon can just follow up so easily from the breach util to punish.
You got Luxo taking a ton of space over towards A and finds the opening against Icy as well. That is swift. And it was, in the meantime, that Laura making all that noise towards C, proccing the door, and immediately pivoting, back to that space game, getting an open A site to take.
The way he swings corners with, like, it almost seems like he has perfect info. I think the player he reminds me most of is, like, watching Primi when he debuted in Pacific. With that, like, really precise, perfect crosshair placement, always ready for the perfect angle. I mean, it's just been so impressive for Luxo that he's on a winless team, and he's still looking this good.
And it's why I feel like Loud are on the cusp of being like a top 4 contending team, which I know sounds like cope, but I swear it's true.
I'm trying to think of some other, like, really high impact, or just like debut performances of players, of rookie players. It's definitely one of if not the best we've seen from an individual.
I mean, people that come to mind, Primi again, Alpha Year.
Sure. I'm thinking in America specifically.
Do we have rookies? Oxy, his first year with C9 was pretty
Oxy's
awesome.
insane.
His kickoff was crazy.
Mata had an insane kickoff.
I think that's a great comparison considering like the teams have had like similar like close games but keep losing despite individual excellence.
I mean, he's actually catching up to Panca on the scoreboard at this point, off that 4K.
That's my
Just
worry about
4
Panca in this
behind.
half, is they're not going to be running towards him as much. He's just going to have less opportunities to fight.
Old Loud are stacked up again towards A early. They've got the trip wall behind them.
Loud FPX spot last round, so they have 5 rifles here on their bonus.
With more than enough money to play for a big buy on this next round too. Okay, the standard spam and
you wouldn't
free kill.
expect him to spam that for the 4th time in a row. That's how he gets you.
More spam. No one catches onto it this time.
What is that timing?
No one's looking at him. He gets 2 kills.
I'm sorry, I need to see what happened with Ye's positioning there that he was able to do that.
It's because the door just opened. Ye was playing inside of the smoke. The second tree player was the one watching that angle, but when the door opens, he turns to look at that line. That's when the rookie is swinging them and getting the 2K.
That is insane. Just 2 away now from catching up to Panca on the scoreboard, who has 21 in 15 rounds. That's what I mean, the talent on this team, the individual skill is so insane.
2v3 for EG. They need to win this round, but the kills, they come in well. Panca alone. He's blind, crossing him up. And now a 1v1. Panca!
God!
It's unfathomable what he and Luxo are doing this game.
Just round after round, it's just a montage for this guy. 26-3, a Red Bull clutch in a position that looked completely unplayable, but he's got the blind TikTok teleport. Superman's got absolutely no idea where he is to win out this 1v2.
The Omen Classic. With that 1-2 util play. That's so good. And he's so confident just holding the angle. Like, could he have tried to...
a little wider.
He could have tried to delay and just run. He knows Derek is sprinting at him.
Fast play towards C. This is that open you were talking about, Chris.
Exactly, yeah. If the Viper's up there, it's over. EG actually have no agent that can quickly escape from back mound, so I like that Loud are continuing to default into this space. And it doesn't even cost them so much, right? They didn't even use the breach stun on the play, just a flash. So they could explode into the side if they want.
Stun onto Supa, slide, but Ye has cover.
Oh my God.
Gets 2.
It's prime Ye.
Okay, he's 10 and 15, guys. Deep breaths. Oh, Supa as well, okay.
It's prime Supa.
I have the spike.
How has this all gone
I'm closer
wrong?
to giving you that.
And Supa is just so ready to get those 2 kills off the door.
Yep.
Does Luxo win a 1 versus 5?
No.
Is he like that?
I don't think he's like that. Okay.
Thorns
I don't like his odds versus Ye up in heaven.
Oh my God, I thought he was definitely getting shot in the back.
This guy's
gets
got
out to
moves.
A.
Wait, this guy's got a plant now.
I like using the Thorn, sets up a flash as well to swing
He's got
on.
his ult even.
EG just have 4. They're going to quadruple swing
Are we
it,
going
surely.
back to B? Oh my God, so close.
Ye dead. Okay. Deep breath.
He had me believing for a
Deep
second. I'm gonna be real. He had
Wyatt,
me believing
I
for a
saw
second.
you like start to get out of your chair.
Look, Mimi, you're saying deep breath. That's just a full eco that EG won. Like off of Ye finding a 2K EG have 3 stacked onto C. Somehow, no utility is hitting Ye. Okay, he's dodging. Oh,
Jumps
that
out
is
of it.
sick tracking. Yeah.
Okay,
second
it
play.
is giving Headhunter. You're right.
Thank you.
And then Super caught that great timing.
Because he was
down bend, get
recovering
to-
a rifle
Yeah.
and just happened to be in the right
That's crazy.
place.
There's no one looking
It
his
shows
way.
that greed pays.
And it does.
All right, the drone is going to clear out everything towards C, which is a little bit unfortunate because now that tool's gone to actually try and get into this pit later if they ever have intentions of doing so.
Yeah, it's also like the Vi's ult is kind of useless going into a pit because usually the Viper player's got a shorty anyways.
Yes, definitely. I imagine EG are shortied up at the moment.
Shorted up on a Sunday afternoon.
Vanguard he is trying to get back in here, and the rest of his team is grouped up, reclaiming this space where they're going to try their best to not die to an Odin again.
Icy's position here off his contact. Nature has the spam to be able to come in. Nature actually repositioning here. What a timing! Going on the swing to find a kill. Wall up should get him out, no problem.
How did DG Zin get that kill? Through the wall, I believe. And Luke show the
Disaster.
movement. Oh, EG, this is a calamity of a round.
And now an ultimate just to push players back. The counter response coming in from Loud. Dude just keeps going forward.
Ye's back alive, but he's running
surprise.
into Luke show. Good night, buddy. You're in a stun. And Loud, they lose an eco round, but they are right back into it.
But what if Supa 1v4?
I think they're aware. Oh, what a shot. Oh my god!
1v2 now for
No,
Superman.
he should
Just
not
let
be
it
getting
happen.
away with that.
Just no.
You can hear Luke Show on this rotate towards spawn right now.
He knows they're gonna be backside, I think.
They're doubled up in heaven. Super jiggles Luke show.
So fast.
Won't let him get away with it.
I would personally love if for the rest of this map, it was just back-to-back highlights of like Luke Show and Supa in 1vx's.
Luke show overtook
He's
Pancata.
overtaken Pancata.
24 and 11 for the rookie,
Oh.
and 23 and 8 for the champion.
Do we count that kill on Derek?
This might end up being the best acquisition of the offseason.
It wasn't even the offseason.
Or, well, you know, I mean, he got it. They got him in the offseason. He was a
Yeah,
sub. He was on
sure.
the bench. Relax.
The best promotion of the year. How about that?
Might just be both.
No.
I mean, we'll see. Hey, listen, we'll see. I mean, definitely, the best
Vitality picking
promotion
up
for
Durka.
sure. I'm talking about Americas. You know what I mean?
You guys are so regional.
We're on a regional broadcast.
Yeah, what are you talking about, Mimi?
Save that narrative for
Save that
Toronto.
for globals, come on.
My bad.
I mean, that's also dependent on how well Loud can do as we get into the future. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, this is a great start on their quest to get a win in the first stage.
Bang to send.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
a crazy pickup for sure. And that you could count that as a promotion. I think most people would.
That's diabolical.
The Sen fans get me. Do we see a problem if we look at the timeline here? Because, what, out of the last 10 rounds, that's 7 for Loud?
What?
Yeah, that is somewhat of an issue. And the EG economy has also been somewhat of an issue. The buy in this round, not great. Not ideal.
Let's put attention on EG then, because this is a round that they really need to win. They lose this, and they are going to have money still, but this would be your chance to kind of pull it back, not let Loud get up to 11.
Looks to me like the pivot for EG is playing more aggressively front B. See where Ye is with the Sheriff? He has previously been involved in these A fights, but now EG, while they show a lot of utility early, they're playing super passively on the A side of the map, trying to maybe get some kind of a push through B, a scout going in now as that door opens to make sure it's not going to be a pivot back into the B site.
I'm also looking towards Luke Show, who's exploring towards Mountain, maybe giving Loud the opportunity to pivot back late into the round, just
But
go
even
for the
then,
C hit.
they wouldn't be able to because EG have pushed up
Yeah,
front
exactly.
B, they'd cut them off.
Ye is inserted very deep towards that attacker spawn. All right, here comes the A side. Execute, self-drone clearing out. Pretty much the entirety of the site gets back towards Waterfall as well.
EG EG operating under the wait and spawn strat and simply retake.
I mean, Lucio is flanking right now all the way through the BC connector.
But the retake's gonna start for Evil Geniuses. They're stalled out for a minute. Luxio's running up behind them. How many does he see? Luxio, 3! Outstanding from the rookie yet again. And this round is turned on its head.
The timing is insane. He's on for a 30 bomb on Vice. On the Vice.
He wasn't even top fragging at the half.
Christy's on the floor.
I'm literally on the floor because I think this guy, the second and third kills were just spammed
What did
through
he
smoke,
Yes.
no?
Yeah, no, he didn't even see them. But he didn't even see them. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, or you make
He's
your
got
own life.
both.
No,
Something
but
like that.
that's also just awareness, right? Because
Yeah.
there's nowhere else EG can realistically be. And they've been stalled out up in heaven because the Omen smoke, the fast lane too.
Are you just gonna stay sitting on the floor?
I'm kind of enjoying it down here.
Okay.
I like only the people on the TikTok stream can see it.
By the way, I see got a 4K that round.
And this has put EG on a weird buy. They like half buy into another half buy.
They have the rocket, which is something, but there's not a lot of
Oh,
good.
Oh,
did
he
see
actually
them
did
go
see
through the
them. Yeah,
wall.
he just barely spotted them.
But when he shot them, he didn't see them
No,
really.
he saw the arm through of the Teo through the wall there right at the end, I think.
Why are you trying to take it away from
So
him?
free.
Let him have his moment.
I feel like him seeing them is more impressive. We're already into the next round. Loud faked pressure towards another TPing in. Pancata
Classic.
is in the spawn.
Classic
What's Derek
play.
looking at? Did he think the Omen
Hold
canceled
on,
the
the
super?
Super is generational! What is that? Only a flash is going to take him down, but Panca on site, pushing forward. Ye's going to deal with him nicely.
Ye has hit some nasty shots in this game as well, leaving it all in the hands of 2Es, who's been temporarily benched, temporarily unbenched. This would be a good moment for him to stay off the bench if he
earn
can
your
win this
spot
1v3. Oh my
He's gonna
god!
shut it down now.
Ye doesn't have the most kills, but the ones he's getting are sick.
I love how you literally just said in more words, clutch or kick.
He didn't clutch. Are you gonna have a word with SDK?
Listen, take a peek at my contract. I get paid by the word. I'm gonna overcomplicate every sentence.
What was going on here?
Show me
I
the
mean-
super kills.
Yeah, it seemed like maybe he thought the teleport was a little bit further
But
back,
like
not
every
tucked
Omen
away.
always TPs there.
Crazy.
What is
Yeah,
that?
no.
What is that neon kill?
It is
He's
the
like
classic.
sliding, strafing through air. Nah.
I talked to Potter like a couple years ago ahead of 2023. She said she wanted Supa then. At the time he was on phase, contract stuff, she couldn't get him. And now she's happy to have him. Yay, I'm
Oh
sure.
my god.
Another pickup Potter would like.
Yeah, if you asked her in 2023, she'd also be saying yay. Lucky for her, she found them both.
I don't understand how Ye is 15 and 19. Every time I'm on his point of view, he's
He just
doing something
kinda
crazy.
had a
I swear.
stinker attack side. He's been real good on the defense though.
Well, he's
Hold the shot when
intentionally
it's in.
dying so that he can res on Clove. It's all part of the plan.
Oh yeah, if he runs in right now, he'll get his ult. That'd be a great play.
Only one orb left.
Not ready yet.
It is Lucio and Pancata.
No, not with stingers. I hate to rain on your parade, Mimi.
Trying to pivot over towards C, which is relatively open, but that's not going to matter when they get flooded upon.
Yeah, he's 8 HP.
One enemy remaining.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Lucio is 0 HP.
The
Pancata is
levies are
half
open.
HP. This is going to be challenging to win.
4 players, the firing squad.
Now, what this is an opportunity to try and close the gap on Lucio in terms of the kills, if he can just sneak away with 1 or 2 here.
Unfortunately for Pancata, there's a contract on his head, and EG are coming for him.
Despite Loud winning the majority of the rounds, EG have been keeping it close enough that they're able to get kind of a free one against an eco buy here. Dujazine is having a tough time. Even 2 rounds in a row, he's like mid-dash crazy movement and just gets owned.
I think this next round's going to be
This
super
guy's
pivotal.
absolutely pissed. I'm owning him on the slides.
If it's true,
You just stole my point.
he built on it. That was a yes and.
True.
If I've ever seen one.
He yes-anded. He yes-anded. Icy's trying to push forward. All right, they do get that space towards Rubble.
Look at the triple walk up on B though.
Yeah.
This is real quick from Loud.
I think they're realizing B's been a little bit lighter, so the quick pop may just work for them.
In goes Dujazine. He'll path towards Baby Door, but he gets stunned. And he has to back away for now.
Oh my God, he is getting bombed by util.
There's nowhere to hide.
Pandemonium.
Guns on the side. They're double pandemonium.
He's all
It's
in front of
madness.
him. What
And
is
it's
going
still
on?
Panca with 2 kills. Hold on now. 4v3 for Evil Geniuses. A rocket to take it down to 2 on the side of Loud. That spike out in the open, and Derek, after surviving the initial hit, is there for the 3K and to bring EG up to 10.
Such a crazy flood. Derek's util there was fantastic. That Armageddon. Not only did it find a kill,
on Digizin entering too.
yeah, it just dispersed everyone into the angles where the flooding EG players could capitalize
Games
as
had
well.
some silly ults this game.
Get some time to come through Baby Door.
Nice, Derek!
He's feeling it.
I'm feeling the same way. I was nice.
I wasn't ready to match that energy. I respect it though.
No, we did not ramp into that. All right, Derek's trying to do this silly little cross where Superman does this silly little take contact. This is a Teo inserted. This guy doesn't have a dash. He doesn't have a dash. He doesn't have a teleport.
God.
He can't get out.
No. We're giving guns over. Now there's a breach ult into the site. Loud are going to have the plant.
And by the way, Luxo still has this steel garden, so we might just get an honest Western film sheriff standoff when the retake comes in.
They're pitting on the retake. Anti-eco. They're just in the one with the gun. He's had a rough game thus far. Here's a chance to turn around. Good night,
the
yay.
timing.
Hold on, look at this lurk.
Double flank.
EG are pushing into the site where there's lurks coming in on the other side of the map. Loud have tons of time to
They
work
haven't
with.
planted.
Wait for Luxo. Look at where he is back in EG's spawn. EG are going to have to rotate back into him to stop this B plant.
And they're setting him up to perfection. Loud bait back towards B. Luke Show standing in wait. He's whiffing. Oh, God. That's my only reaction to that.
That is the honest reaction we were waiting for. And this puts Loud in an awkward position because their only rifle in Digizin is gone. It's 3 sheriffs all trying to get a little bit active on their own. Pancata creeping up back towards the defensive spawn. That's a beautiful kill.
He's him.
To start this off. Now the clock starting to work away.
Look at the positions. This feels unwinnable for Icy.
He has to go hunt down 3 different players. There's just not going to be enough time.
Oh, that.
Why did they embed a player on an anti-eco in the corner as Teo?
I mean, also, yeah, I mean, they just have no players that can actually escape one and dones like that with the comp that they have.
Put Ye on chamber.
If they have a chamber or if they had an omen. Oh, but Derek is just stuck and he's isolated because of the cloud that's up from the Viper.
I just want to say, we are going into potentially the final round. Luxo and Pancata are both on 27 kills. This could be the round to see who's going to be on top.
You can't be losing when you have the Shaq and Kobe performance. You actually can't.
Remember, Luxo, since debuting, has top fragged 5 of his 6 games with Loud.
Not against the
And now
Boombot.
he's 0-1 versus the Boombot.
Superman's in a great spot. He's been the shining light for EG, and he starts the round well, but the util,
Oh my God.
somehow he finds a gap within it all.
Yeah, just playing high on the box. The Aftershock was below him. That might even give false info to Loud, though. I mean, at this point, could have pivoted back.
Just saw 3 players, but didn't spot that Luxo had rotated back into the team. Still, EG had crept up into the forward A space, so maybe they're worried about a front B lurk, something like this.
I mean,
Things considered.
Minute left. These guys have no space.
Yeah.
No map control.
And even just having the Odin here on a timing, thinking this is about the time they'd be entering main. For a little bit of chip damage. Beautiful.
Ooh, spot out onto at least 2. C's in Icy. Gotta be the man of the hour here. Gotta step up. Kawa off the satchel. He's moving. Does not care.
Love that attempt, though. Wall is now up. Cowan's going to try to get through the door with the rest of Loud, who are fairly weak.
Here's Ye.
20 seconds.
Ulted up. Only a shorty now. If he gets a kill, it's still good. Smoke up. Optimal position. That's 1. On the reload, Ye dips back.
10
He's
seconds.
going back in
Who's
the
got the
shorty.
speed?
That's a double with the shorty.
It's a shorty collat.
Wait, what? Wait,
He got them both.
Unbelievable.
Show it again.
Yeah, rewind the tape. I don't care about anything else inside of the round. It didn't matter. That is a guy that's full ulted. Goes a shorty. Okay, first kill, whatever.
Gets away, and then he gets the speed here.
That's a collat. That's 1 bullet, Mimi.
That's unbelievable.
I mean,
They're freaking out, too.
Even Foe's like, wait a second, did that just happen?
Dare I say, prime Ye.
He's going crazy. I still don't understand how he is. I mean, he's playing Clove. That's why he has more deaths than kills. I mean, the greatest Clove performances still, you end up with more deaths than kills.
Maybe I'm focusing too much when he only has a pistol. Because all of his highlights are literally just pistol montages, no?
Shorty,
A
Sheriff.
couple of it,
Shorty, Sheriff.
Yeah. How
Put him
is
on
this game
chamber.
11-12?
Put him on chamber.
Right, we're into the loud timeout in the final moment.
Yeah. By the way, Luxo Panca still at 27
Still
apiece.
at 27.
Watch, you're going to have called that out and they'll end the game 27 each.
Kaunzin comes back 14 kills down to overtake them in OT.
Pancata's got the Omen ult. Has the ability to once again teleport behind the team if they want to go for one of those silly executes.
Yeah.
Do they run it back and do that
It might
twice?
just be a C exec. They could be going for
I
it.
hope not for
Classic
Loud.
Omen ult exec.
Because just a second ago, Derek pinged the location he ulted last time, and I think he's going to be ready for that one. Maybe Loud are going to just do that ult into top right corner site where that ping is. That's another good one on the Omen. You can cancel it, but it's good info either way.
Minor
All
spelling
five.
mistake from that Twitch chat.
You have to call him out.
Wait,
Come on,
I
man.
didn't see it. I didn't see it.
Here's the fight. Derek again. Out open, but doesn't get caught.
Kaunzin should have the ultimate. Armageddon in the post.
Tui's holds the stun. No one swings. Haunt broken.
Locating target.
And now they can action on this execute.
Well,
If they want to go.
didn't locate any targets really. Just got shot down for getting the info.
In the last several rounds, at a moment like this, EG had a player pushed very deep towards Rubble. At the moment, they've only got some pretty passive information. But even still, with Icy just jiggling, they have all rotated to this C
EG
site.
has 3 here, super starts, but Didge's in, maybe finding his round. Finally, it's the other players from Loud who haven't thrived thus far, finding their mark to put it even.
2-on-2 now for Loudness Coast. No ultimates really to work with here. But full utility on the side of Icy.
I'm looking to see if Tuiz is going to get this fault line back up in time. EG are going a little bit slow. Further delay from the Vines could allow
Stall.
that util to cycle.
Util combo. Nade in. Doesn't catch. Just a bit of damage onto Tui's.
Satchel out.
Satchel forward. Icy spots them both out. Tap on the spike. Icy, yay together for the first kill. And now Tui's in the 1-on-2. Tui's! He ends the game with a stunning shot on the Guardian. He's off the bench, he's in the server, and he's won this map.
Yeah, well, we were calling out the clutcher kick for the Tui's 1v3, but he's staying off the bench. He gets the 1v2.
No problem. This 4K
He's
is
starting.
crazy.
He's starting. That was so sick. Both
Red Bull
players
clutch.
forced into the swing because of the aftershock.
Now, because of Tui's heroics, I've got big news. Luxo and Pancata both finished with 27 kills. They're
prophecy.
tied. They're tied at the end of it all, but they get the win either way. What a start to this series.
But